The stage was quiet, too quiet. The kind of silence that hums with nerves and unseen stories. A boy no older than 14 stepped out from the shadows, his shoes scuffed, his hands trembling. The audience could see the fear in his eyes, but there was something else too, pain. A deep, aching pain that seemed older than he was. His name was Liam. The judges exchanged a curious look as he took his place in front of the microphone. The host had mentioned he was from a small foster home outside the city, that music had been his only escape since his parents passed away. The crowd expected a shy, uncertain performance. What they got instead was something no one would forget. When the first notes of "Nothing Compares to You" filled the air, the world seemed to stop breathing. His voice wasn't perfect, there were cracks, small breaks, but each note carried a story, a memory, a piece of his heart. Every word felt lived. Every pause spoke louder than any lyric. People in the audience began to lower their phones, forgetting to record, realizing they were witnessing something real. As he sang, "It's been 7 hours and 15 days, his voice quivered with the kind of grief only someone who had truly lost could understand. The judges, who had seen thousands of auditions, suddenly found themselves holding back tears. Even the stage lights seemed softer, as if the world itself didn't want to interrupt. Liam hadn't planned to sing that song. In fact, he had almost not come at all. The night before the audition, he sat on the edge of his bed at the foster home, clutching a worn photograph of his mother. She used to hum that song when she tucked him in. After she passed, he stopped singing altogether. It was the only song that hurt too much to touch, but the only one that ever made him feel close to her. He remembered her voice, gentle, warm, promising that things would get better. But they hadn't. School had been hard. Other kids teased him for not having parents. He tried to fit in but was always the quiet one, the boy with second-hand clothes and tired eyes. Music was the only place he could speak without being judged. When a teacher encouraged him to audition for the talent show, Liam hesitated. What could he possibly offer compared to others with experience, confidence, or support? But deep down, he wanted to be heard, not for fame, but for his mother. He wanted her to know he hadn't forgotten. Back on stage, his voice grew stronger. The pain turned into power. The audience didn't clap, didn't cheer. They just watched, frozen in silence, as if afraid to break the spell. A single tear rolled down one judge's cheek. Another covered her mouth, whispering, "He's singing to someone he lost." They were right. As the last note faded, the silence that followed was so thick it almost hurt. Then, slowly, the entire room rose to their feet. It wasn't a wild standing ovation, it was reverent, like a moment of shared mourning. The judges didn't speak for several seconds. When they finally did, their voices were shaky. "Liam," one said softly, "you didn't just sing that song, you lived it. You made us all feel what you've been carrying." Liam didn't know how to respond. He just nodded, tears streaming down his face. The host approached and asked, "Who were you singing for?" His voice cracked as he answered, "For my mom. She used to sing it to me when I was little." The crowd went silent again, and someone in the back shouted, "She'd be proud of you." That broke him. He covered his face and cried, not out of sadness this time, but relief. The pain he had held inside for years had finally found its voice. When the judges pressed the golden buzzer, confetti rained down. Liam fell to his knees, overwhelmed. He didn't see fame. He didn't see victory. He saw his mother smile in the lights above him. He whispered a quiet "thank you" to the sky, and for the first time, his heart felt a little lighter. In the days that followed, his audition spread across the internet. Millions watched the boy with the heartbreaking voice, and people from around the world sent messages of love and support. Some said his song reminded them of someone they had lost. Others said it gave them hope to keep going. Liam read every message. He realized that his pain had touched others, that his story wasn't just about loss, but about healing. Music, he now understood, didn't just fill silence. It transformed it. Months later, as he stood on a bigger stage for the finals, Liam didn't feel like the scared foster kid anymore. He was still humble, still quiet, but something inside him had changed. He wasn't just singing to his mother anymore. He was singing for everyone who had ever lost someone, everyone who had ever felt invisible. And as the lights dimmed and his voice echoed once again through the hall, the silence returned, but this time, it wasn't empty. It was full of love, of memories, of everything unspoken. When the song ended, there was no need for words. The silence itself said it all. Message: sometimes, the most powerful voices come from the deepest pain. And when you find the courage to share your story, you don't just heal yourself, you help others find their own strength too.